Lifetime without worrying about diabetes if you follow the 13 tips of Dr. Irl Hirsch. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic disease that affects millions of people worldwide. Uncontrolled cases can cause blindness, kidney failure, heart disease and other serious conditions. Although there are certain factors you can't change, such as your genes, age or past behaviors, there are many actions you can take to reduce the risk of diabetes. Here are 13 tips from Dr. Irl Hirsch to avoid diabetes. 1. Regular exercise helps prevent diabetes. Performing physical activity on a regular basis can increase insulin secretion and sensitivity, which may help prevent the progression from prediabetes to diabetes. Exercise increases the insulin sensitivity of your cells. So when you exercise, less insulin is required to keep your blood sugar levels under control. One study in people with prediabetes found that moderate intensity exercise increased insulin sensitivity by 51% and high intensity exercise increased it by 85%. 2. Limit the use of sugary drinks. Sugary beverages like soda and punch have been linked to an increased risk of both type 2 diabetes and latent autoimmune diabetes of adults. Researchers of one study on the effects of sweet drinks on diabetes stated that neither artificially sweetened beverages nor fruit juice were good beverages for diabetes prevention. By contrast, consuming water may provide benefits. Some studies have found that increased water consumption may lead to better blood sugar control and insulin response. Drinking water instead of other beverages may help control blood sugar and insulin levels, thereby reducing the risk of diabetes. 3. Cut sugar and refined carbs from diet. Eating sugary foods and refined carbs can put at risk individuals on the fast track to developing diabetes. Your body rapidly breaks these foods down into small sugar molecules, which are absorbed into your bloodstream. The resulting rise in blood sugar stimulates your pancreas to produce insulin, a hormone that helps sugar get out of the bloodstream and into your body's cells. In people with prediabetes, the body's cells are resistant to insulin's action, so sugar remains high in the blood. To compensate, the pancreas produces more insulin, attempting to bring blood sugar down to a healthy level. Over time, this can lead to progressively higher blood sugar and insulin levels, until the condition eventually turns into type 2 diabetes. 4. Follow a low-carb diet. Following a ketogenic or very low-carb diet can help you avoid diabetes. They have consistently been shown to lower blood sugar and insulin levels, increase insulin sensitivity and reduce other diabetes risk factors. If you minimize your carb intake, your blood sugar levels won't rise very much after you eat. Therefore, your body needs less insulin to maintain your blood sugar within healthy levels. 5. Don't eat too much food at once. Whether or not you decide to follow a low-carb diet, it's important to avoid large portions of food to reduce the risk of diabetes, especially if you are overweight. Eating too much food at one time has been shown to cause higher blood sugar and insulin levels in people at risk of diabetes. 6. If you are overweight or obese, you should lose weight. Although not everyone who develops type 2 diabetes is overweight or obese, the majority are. What's more, those with prediabetes tend to carry excess weight in their midsection and around abdominal organs like the liver. This is known as visceral fat. Excess visceral fat promotes inflammation and insulin resistance, which significantly increase the risk of diabetes. 7. Quit smoking. Smoking has been shown to cause or contribute to many serious health conditions, including heart disease, emphysema and cancers of the lung, breast, prostate and digestive tract. There's also research linking smoking and second-hand smoke exposure to type 2 diabetes. One study followed the risk of diabetes in middle-aged male smokers after they quit. After 5 years their risk had reduced by 13%, and after 20 years they had the same risk as people who had never smoked. Researchers stated that even though many of the men gained weight after quitting, after several smoke-free years, their risk of diabetes was lower than if they'd continued smoking. 8. Avoid sedentary behaviors. It's important to avoid being sedentary if you want to prevent diabetes. If you get no or very little physical activity, and you sit during most of your day, then you lead a sedentary lifestyle. Changing sedentary behavior can be as simple as standing up from your desk and walking around for a few minutes every hour. Avoiding sedentary behaviors like excessive sitting has been shown to reduce your risk of getting diabetes. 9. Eat a high-fiber diet. Consuming a good fiber source at each meal can help prevent spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, which may help reduce your risk of developing diabetes. Getting plenty of fiber is beneficial for gut health and weight management. Studies in obese, elderly and prediabetic individuals have shown that it helps keep blood sugar and insulin levels low. Fiber can be divided into two broad categories, soluble and insoluble. Soluble fiber absorbs water, whereas insoluble fiber does not. In the digestive tract, soluble fiber and water form a gel that slows down the rate at which food is absorbed. This leads to a more gradual rise in blood sugar levels. However, insoluble fiber has also been linked to reductions in blood sugar levels and a decreased risk of diabetes, although exactly how it works is not clear. 10. Optimize vitamin D levels. Consuming foods high in vitamin D or taking supplements can help optimize vitamin D blood levels, which can reduce your risk of diabetes. Indeed, studies have found that people who don't get enough vitamin D, or whose blood levels are too low, have a greater risk of all types of diabetes. Most health organizations recommend maintaining a vitamin D blood level of at least 30 nanograms per milliliter, 75 nmol/L. Children who took the vitamin D supplements had a 78% lower risk of developing type 1 diabetes than children who received less than the recommended amount of vitamin D. Good food sources of vitamin D include fatty fish and cod liver oil. In addition, sun exposure can increase vitamin D levels in the blood. 11. Using herbs. The herbs curcumin and berberine increase insulin sensitivity, reduce blood sugar levels and may help prevent diabetes. There are a few herbs that may help increase insulin sensitivity and reduce the likelihood of diabetes progression. Curcumin is a component of the bright gold spice turmeric, which is one of the main ingredients in curries. It has strong anti-inflammatory properties and has been used in India for centuries as part of Ayurvedic medicine. Research has shown it can be very effective against arthritis and may help reduce inflammatory markers in people with prediabetes. There's also impressive evidence that it may decrease insulin resistance and reduce the risk of diabetes progression. In addition, the curcumin group experienced an increase in insulin sensitivity and improved functioning of insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. Berberine is found in several herbs and has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. Because berberine works by increasing insulin sensitivity and reducing the release of sugar by the liver, it might theoretically help people with prediabetes avoid diabetes. 12. Minimize processed foods. Minimizing processed foods and focusing on whole foods with protective effects on health may help decrease the risk of diabetes. One clear step you can take to improve your health is to minimize your consumption of processed foods. They're linked to all sorts of health problems, including heart disease, obesity and diabetes. Studies suggest that cutting back on packaged foods that are high in vegetable oils, refined grains and additives may help reduce the risk of diabetes. This may be partly due to the protective effects of whole foods like nuts, vegetables, fruits and other plant foods. 13. Drink coffee or tea. Drinking coffee or tea may help reduce blood sugar levels, increase insulin sensitivity and reduce the risk of diabetes. Studies have reported that drinking coffee on a daily basis reduced the risk of type 2 diabetes by 8 to 54%, with the greatest effect generally seen in people with the highest consumption. Another review of several studies that included caffeinated tea and coffee found similar results, with the largest risk reduction in women and overweight men. Coffee and tea have antioxidants known as polyphenols that may help protect against diabetes. In addition, green tea contains a unique antioxidant compound called epigallocatechin gallate (EGCG) that has been shown to reduce blood sugar release from the liver and increase insulin sensitivity. You have control over many of the factors that influence diabetes. Eating the right foods and adopting other lifestyle behaviors that promote healthy blood sugar and insulin levels will give you the best chance at avoiding diabetes. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel and share your opinion in the comment section. Thanks very much.